All right, is the health care law ironclad constitutionally? Joining us right now with the response to Leader Pelosi, former presidential candidate herself, Congresswoman Michele Bachmann. Congresswoman, always great to see you.
Well, good morning. The answer is very clear. No, it is not constitutional, and I'm looking forward to next week being in the courtroom as these arguments go before the Supreme Court. This is a historic time, one of the longest periods of oral argument that the Supreme Court will ever have, and it should be. It's the seminal issue of our time. Should the government take over and own and control medicine, 1/60 of the economy? The American people say no. They want this declared unconstitutional.
It's been 2 years, and by the way, you have a seat, you just told me,
yes,
and so you'll be watching this in the Supreme Court. And by the way, that's a hot ticket.
It's a very hot ticket.
But it's also very close. You're an attorney, but it's also very close to call. You're going to have two sides, two very talented teams going at it. In it, we're looking at the mandate. Mandating that the American people get something is something that might not be unconstitutional, and that's what you're
right,
arguing.
and it should be. This is offensive to the American people. I called and led 40,000 Americans to fight this bill before it passed, and when it passed, I was the first member of Congress that filed the bill to repeal Obamacare. And during the course of the presidential election, I think I helped to change the debate on this, because there's only one right answer for our nominee, and it's full-scale repeal of Obamacare. The American people and our base demand no less.
Can you believe 2 years ago, with the celebratory words from Joe Biden, which we can't repeat, and from the hoopla about the passage, that 2 years from now the president's going to Korea? You don't have anybody talking about it. No one's really celebrating it. A few columns on the internet.
That's right. And even in the State of the Union, this is the president's signature piece of legislation, and it's so unpopular with the American people, he can't even talk about it. We know why it's unpopular, especially among senior citizens. It steals over $500 billion out of Medicare.
See, that's so important, because we have Paul Ryan passing a budget and people saying it's trying to kill Medicare.
Oh,
what is the facts about
It's just that, and as a matter of fact, the future for senior citizens, they don't realize that Medicare is going to collapse and go away under President Obama's plan. His plan for senior citizens is they all have to roll into Obamacare. They won't have Medicare. They go into Obamacare. Well, seniors don't want that, because they know that the cost will go up, and it will be denial of care. That's our future under Obamacare. More expensive, less care. What a deal.
Now, we have Jim DeMint coalescing around.